I bought a coin collection. Here's a look inside. Okay, so I'm gonna start to take everything out. I haven't looked at the dates. I just kind of know how many of each type of coin. Like I know we have about 30 Morgan and Peace dollars, about 30, I think 90% half dollars as well. But I'm gonna get everything out and set them out, then we can look at them. So here's everything out of the box. Let's open these up. This one is all the half dollars and a few other things. As you can see, commemoratives. I think there's a little bit of everything in here, so we'll get to those here in a second. And in here is a little bit of everything that's not a silver half dollar. So we have quarters, nickels, Canadian cents, American cents, I think like a token type thing. And then we have 2 packs here as well. This is all pennies and dimes. They're all face value. No wheats except for the ones I pulled out. They told me there were no wheats, but I searched through and I found maybe 10 wheat cents. Very nice. All of the coins in this box, so over $5 in pennies, are pre-1976. The dimes are also pre-1976, but not silver. And all of them are in, some of them are heavily circulated, and some of them are like mint state red brown, perhaps even red. And so I'll go through and find those eventually, probably not in this video, but I'll take out the wheat cents for you guys. And then let's start going through this. All right, so here's everything from that box there. Lots of copper, looks like a decent amount of silver. We have Indian cents, wheat cents. I'm going to distribute these out. Oh, it looks like even a Canadian silver quarter. I'm going to distribute all these, kind of group them into type, and then we'll go through them by date as needed. Okay, I was not expecting to see this. We have a trime. This is a 3-cent dime. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a date, but I'll definitely look at that closer here shortly. I was not expecting that. All right, so this was a lot of variety. We have Canadian stuff as well as American stuff. So let's start with the Canadian. A lot of large cents, I think 7 total. Edward VII, 3 from Victoria, and 1 from George V. 2 Canadian small cents, a Canadian dime, as well as a Canadian quarter. Canadian large cents range from 1893 to 1915. None of them any better dates or worth anything special. The Canadian dime was in 1890. If it were in 1889, I would have made about $600 on it. So that's kind of unfortunate, but that would have been kind of stupid. Anyways, the quarter is a 1937. I believe that's as common as they come. But again, both of those are silver. We have 3 American large cents, 2 different designs. This one's larger than those 2. I think 16 Indian head cents, 41 wheat cents, the trime, a handful of V nickels and buffalo nickels, a couple Barber and Mercury dimes, and then 2 Barber quarters, a Washington quarter, and a Standing Liberty quarter. And I guess that those should be the other way around. Oops. All right, so we have the 2 Liberty head large cents that we're going through. Here are, on the left-hand side, we have the new one, and on the right-hand side, the old one. You'll notice the design is actually different, and that's because from 1816 to 1839, there were actually 2 designs, and here are those 2 designs. I think I'm going to go with the 1828 because it's a more different design than the next one. I feel like this transition, the 1837, is a transition between the 1828 and the 1847, and so I'd rather have the 1828 in the book. Here, I previously had that 1853 in the book, and I believe that has the best detail still. That 1854 is close, but that 1853 has the best detail, and so that will stay as Liberty Head from 1840 to 1857. All right, so I went through the Indian heads, mostly common dates. 1881 over here is the oldest. that we have. That's a common date, as I mentioned. Then this 1883, oh my goodness, there we go, has some great detail on it, but again, is a common date, and also has some damage, which is highly unfortunate, because if it didn't have damage, it might be like a $40 or $50 coin. That 1891, 1897, to 1897 to 1899, and then everything from 92 over to 1908, of course, not the 1908S. And wow, the focus is bad today. A few of them are in better shape, as I mentioned, but not amazing. Here are the wheat cents, teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Let's put them out by year. I can tell you already, though, we have a 1919, a 1917 beat to crap, and a 1920 for our three oldest ones in that order. Nothing too crazy in the 30s, 235s, 234s, 235s, 236s, and a 37. In the 40s, we have a couple 40, a couple 42s, a 43 actually, a couple 44s, 45, a couple 46s, and a 48. There was also 46S. Moving on to the 50s, we have a 50, 51D, 52D, 55, of course not the DDO, 55D, several 56Ds, 57D, and 58D. All the V-nickels from the 20th century, nothing too crazy. This 1911 is in a bit better shape compared to the others, but nothing too crazy. For the Buffaloes, we have a 28D, a 29D, and a 37, as well as 3 that we'll need to liquidate. All right, now we're going to liquidate these 3 nickels. We can't read them. 2 Denvers, 1 Philly. Let's find out what they are. Here they go. Let's see how they turn out. So you guys will not believe this. Here are the 2 Denver cents. You can see, or 5 nickels. Anyways, Denver. Let's flip them over. I'm going to keep them on camera the whole time. They're both in the teens. This one right here is a 1913. Again, I'm going to flip it over. Type 2 out of Denver. That is a $120 coin in G4. The other one is a 1917 out of Denver, which is an $18 coin in G4. And the final one is a 1924 out of Philly, which is nothing. But if this actually is, and it appears to be, a 1913 Type 2 out of Denver, I just made $100 on a coin I intended to spend $1 on out of the whole collection. So, wow. I mean, obviously it's liquidated. It's not quite G4. Liquidate brings down its value. But the fact that it is now a readable 1913 Type 2, wow. I can't even believe it right now. You can see all the dates on the dimes. Only one with a mint mark is that 1939 out of Denver. Of the quarters, we have 4. The 1898 is actually out of New Orleans. All right, so a few proof things. We have the 1888 silver Olympic dollar. We also have 40% bicentennials. Of course, the dollar, half dollar, and quarter proof part of the set here. Speaking of dollars and half dollars, that's all we have left. Let's get into the half dollars. Again, I'll organize them by type: commemorative, Barber, Walker, Benji, and then the 3 different Kennedys, 90, 40, and Clad. In here, we had a 10 Deutschmark from 1972 Olympic commemorative. I forgot they flipped the other way. Some nice toning on it. It's 62.5% silver. So a couple bucks there at least, although on eBay, a few of them were selling more, so I'll have to double check all that. Yeah, pretty sure it's just $10 coin. All right, here are the halves. 1902, a 41S of 42P. A couple 51s, 52, 53D, 62, 63P and D. 19 of the 64Ps, as well as 3 64Ds, a 67, a 69D, as well as 3 classic commemoratives. Of course, the Columbian Exposition, the first and most well-known classic. The Monroe Adams half and the Stone Mountain, also a classic, well-known commemorative $50. All of these, this one's in 1925, and that's the newest of these commemoratives. So I was able to add 3 Franklins here to my Franklin book, so that's nice. So let's add those in. I've been waiting to do this for a while. I finally get to take out this modern proof, and I get to update these commemoratives in the typeset to be all old style commemorative $50. So these 4 will be the ones in those 4 slots here. Yeah, just wow, look at how much nicer that looks. That looks real classic, and I really love the designs of all these classic commemorative halves. And now for the fun stuff. There's a few clad ikes in here, the rest silver, Morgan, and peace dollars. I think like 30 of them, so let's get to it. Okay, so I'm getting them ready, but we have to do this one on camera. The 1927 is a key date if it's the Philadelphia. Let me take a better look at that, because, hold on. And as you can see, that's a San Francisco, and thus not a major payday, but still, peace dollar. All right, so nothing too crazy here. We have a couple 82s, an 84-0, a couple 89s, a 98-0, lots of 21s, a 21D, and I didn't take it out of this wrapping yet because it has like a note about who it's from in 1959, which to me is historical to some extent. So I'll get this in a flip and put the packaging on the other side of the flip to keep it all together here soon. 22s, 23, a 23D, 25s, and then of course the 27S, not the P. And that's that. So the one coin they had on a flip, the one Morgan they had on a flip, I inspected it, and it turns out it's an 1884 0/0 VAM 10 with a little die clash over here by this star, which maybe my phone's good enough to actually see. Let's actually try that out here. Yeah, you can kind of actually see it there on the bottom part of this star near the denticles. Yeah, you can kind of see that. That's kind of crazy. The little, like, thing heading up to the northeast-ish area, that is the die clash. And then if we move on to the O, you can, again, on the camera, see where the O/O is off to that left-hand side with a little stuff inside the center of the O. So very cool VAM that we have there. So in these stacks here are every type coin we have. So we have in cents first, large cent, 2 different types, Indian head cent, wheat cent, the trime, 2 different types of nickels, 2 different types of dimes, 3 different types of quarters, 5 different types of $50, ranging from the barber all the way to the 40 or to the 40%. Those should have been the other way around. 3 different commemoratives, peace dollars, and Morgan dollars. Obviously, this one is call. But those are all the different types that we got, so a very wide variety.